What's up, roast beef sandwich?
What's up, Snow Pod?
Snow pod.
Yeah.
Both of our brains are broken right now.
Yeah, I was thinking like sleep pod, but it's snowy and you're kind of snuggled in because it's cold.
I feel like your brain just wanted to say igloo or something, but you said snow pod.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. And we're off. It usually takes at least 30 minutes for us to be this stupid.
Starting early. Anyway, you are back from a trip to Tombstone, Arizona.
Yeehaw. It was very fun. Saw lots of friends. Did lots of weird fun stuff. Oh my god. This is where we're at. I got to host ghost investigations for 2 nights in a row at Boot Hill Graveyard.
Nice.
And I just told everybody, like, run free. Go do what you got to do. Everybody, if they wanted them, I had little bottles of whiskey because people pour whiskey on the graves to get the ghosts to talk to them. I gave some people cigarettes so they had tobacco. And a good time was had by all. Fun was had by all. And thanks, everybody, for making the experience wonderful for me.
Was there any ghostiness?
It was really weird up at the cemetery. Like, it was like manifestations were so, like, everybody. Okay, so here's what happened. In the first group, in the first night, maybe like 14 people came up to me throughout the course of the night, and they were like, I was walking over there and I felt like my hip go out.
That's weird.
And then the second night, people were like, felt my hip go out. And then people were also like making this gesture where they would wave their hands toward their chest, but they wouldn't know they were doing it while they were talking to me. And like dozens of people did it without even realizing they were doing it.
That's weird. We had that at Felt Mansion too. The guy that died from the heart problems, and then everybody felt like they were having heart problems.
Yeah. So that was really strange. Like watching that stuff build over the course of a couple days, where it's like, oh, everybody's using the exact same words or the same gestures while they're saying the same words. Then you're like, something's happening. Like it could be just if 2 or 3 people did it, it might just be random. But when you get like over a dozen people doing it across 2 days, then you're like, oh, something is strangely happening here.
Yeah, that's weird. I like it. I feel like, I haven't spoken to that many people, but I saw people posting about the event, and I feel like I saw quite a few different people saying that they got like good EVPs there during investigations.
Yeah, there were a lot of good EVPs spread out across all the different locations and stuff. What was super interesting though in the graveyard is there are some Old West Chinese immigrants that are buried in that cemetery, and we had people who could speak Chinese. So they were like talking in Chinese to the people who were buried there. And one of the responses they got, they were like literally the response they got was like, don't speak Mandarin to me, speak Cantonese.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, crazy.
That is crazy. That's so crazy. That like you can be a ghost and like be beaming in from wherever and being like, who here speaks my language?
Yeah. But also at the same time, like imagine all the people that might have investigated there that have never been able to speak the language, and this is your first chance, and you're like, you're close, but
What do you mean? Tombstone, Arizona is not a diverse pocket of the country?
not so much.
Not so much.
I saw a sticker on the back of a windshield. It was literally the size of the windshield. It was maybe like 24 inches across and maybe like 17 inches high. And it was one of those like reverse stickers that you could peel onto the window or whatever. And it had a picture of Trump's head, and it said, "My captain, my king" on it. And I was like, you motherfucker, that is beyond political. It's nerd words. That is Lord of the Rings words. Like, you get Tolkien out of your mouth.
Yeah, it would have went right over my head.
I caught it.
I would have been like, that is weird behavior, but I would have not known what it was from. You did not dress up like a cactus, unfortunately.
I didn't dress up like a cactus or a cowboy. Friend Chris bought me, like, because I kept saying I wasn't going to dress up like a cowboy. He brought me like a black snap-up shirt that kind of looks cowboyish and was like, there's a fucking shirt, wear it if you want it. And I wore it.
That was nice.
Yes. So that's as close as I got to dressing up as a cowboy.
Good job.
And what else? Yeah, good time was had by all. Hard to eat in Tombstone, Arizona when you don't eat meat, and everything is ribs and steak and bacon wrapped steak and steak wrapped bacon.
Yuck.
Yes.
I know it's tough when you get past, like, I mean, anywhere really, but like I found that too when I road trip out to like South Dakota, and everywhere you go, they're like buffalo burgers. I'm like, disgusting.
Right.
Yuck. Yuck.
But there's a place where the place that we were staying one morning, I thought was really cute. Saturday morning, you wake up and you leave the like room you're staying in, and you go down and they have a little chuck wagon. And there's a guy down there, and his name is Arizona Bill.
Mm.
And he's dressed up fully like a cowboy. He's like 80 years old, and he's making coffee over the fire. And you just sit down on a little log and you grab a cup and he pours you cowboy coffee. So it was nice. I sat down there and smoked cigarettes with him and drank coffee.
That is the life, bro. I'm not even kidding. Like, that is what I feel like we need to do.
Yeah, and I was talking to a really nice couple down there, and not for nothing, and people can be whoever they want to be, but I was talking to this husband and wife, and they were like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "I'm a ghost hunter," and they were like, "Oh, cool! Like 20 years we went on a ghost hunt," and I was like, "Cool," and they were like, "Yeah, it was really weird," and people were getting pictures of one of those things called orbs, and it was really neat. And then the wife left, and then the husband was like, "So how do you square that with your belief of being awash in the blood of our Lord Jesus Christ?" And I was like, "I got words for you, my friend." I'm like, "I am not awash in the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ." And then he like started to proselytize to me. It was really strange. It got strange real fast.
You're like, I am awash in the blood of Slurpees and Taco Bell. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. So sorry to disappoint.
I am wash in the blood of Olive Garden.
Who art in heaven, Baha be thy blast.
But it was very fun. Monday was a long travel day. It was like 12 or 13 hours.
Yeah, you had to be on 4 different airplanes for this trip, and luckily you didn't skid and flip over.
Yeah, right before I got on my plane to fly to Detroit, I like opened up my phone. It finally had some charge because I'd been charging it and not looking at it. And the first thing that popped up on my screen was like, "Oh, there's a plane flipped upside down and crashed in Canada." And then they were like, "Boarding." And I was like, Jesus Christ.
I would have been shaking in the bathroom. I would have been like, I'm walking outside to rent a car and I'm not going on the plane.
Because I mean, the whole thing didn't start well. Like, I got to the airport on Wednesday and they got us on the plane and they started to drive us out to the runway. Then the pilot's like, "We have to turn back. They have to de-ice the plane and we're not going to unboard you guys." So we sat on the plane for 3 hours while they got the ice off of the plane. And I mean, just like, you're on a plane, but you're just sitting for 3 hours and you're like, this flight is only 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's how I would just be like, I'm going to run it. I'm going outside. I'm just going to drive my happy ass home. Somebody else too, at the same time as that shit happening and the flipped over plane happened, one of our Patreons wrote in the chat that they flew the other day, like literally this was like yesterday or the day before, they flew from Memphis to Chicago, and they were like, yeah, while we were taxiing the runway, one of the engines fucking blew out and we had to go back to the thing and sit on the plane while they were like, thought they were gonna replace or fix the engine, and then they decided to put us on another plane. I'm like, what is happening, bro?
Crazy times out there.
And especially that one, Memphis to Chicago, I'd be like, nah, not a chance. That's easy work. That's easy work for me. I'd be like, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go rent a car. Crazy. It's crazy out there right now. It's crazy every day. I'll let you get back to it, but I was so crazy all day today, and I hadn't touched my phone for about 3 hours, and literally more insanity has happened since the last time I touched my phone. It's like an ambush every time you pick up your phone. Like, I don't even want to look at what has transpired since I looked at this 3 hours ago.
That's pretty true. Unfortunately, everyone that's listening out there and America, I tried to do a good deed for everyone when I was on the plane to Detroit. I spent maybe close to an hour looking at this guy using his phone next to me, or his tablet next to me, trying to get his user account number, but unfortunately I could not get his user account number. I couldn't find it, so I don't know who he is. He spent the entire flight going to heritage auctions, screen capping pictures of things that were sale, and then starting Etsy pages to sell them.
What?
He was going to auction sites.
Oh, to see what was low and then posting it for more?
Just taking them off of auction sites and selling them as if he was selling them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, that's what I said. Like, he's going to make a higher listing. Then when somebody buys it, he buys it for cheaper and then sends it to them, right?
No. He's just taking pictures of stuff that has sold off of auctions. It's already been sold.
Then they're going to buy it and he's going to send them nothing.
Yes.
No, you can't do that.
Yes. He was just scamming people the whole time.
That's insane.
I'm 100. I watched him do it for an hour to dozens upon dozens of things that were already sold on Heritage auctions, eBay auctions, other Etsy sellers, just screen capping their pictures and creating new listings for things that had already sold.
But wait, don't you think maybe what if he bought all those and then he's just using the pictures that are already there and then he's relisting them all for hire? That's it, like his thing.
No, I'll tell you, everybody, if you were watching what I was watching, he was creating scam websites.
Yikes. It's funny that you say that because I had a really annoying eBay situation yesterday. This wretched person. I sent them, they bought something from me, something stupid and small, and it was going to Texas. So it takes a minute, especially since from here to there's storms everywhere, like bad, bad storms in central
Yeah,
USA
and they're
right now.
de-icing planes for 3 hours.
Well, there's like flooding in like the whole middle part of this side of the country. Anyway, so they got nasty with me in their DMs and they're like, it's taking forever. I'm gonna file a claim. It was at this point, I'm not even kidding you. It had been, I think, 6 days. And they're like, I'm filing a claim. And I was like, okay, they're like, the tracking isn't moving. And it literally was. And then I go, it's in your state right now. Just give it a minute. And she's like, and she writes back, what did she say? Like, not accept it. So then it'll get sent back. And I'm like, okay. So then listen, I'm already so pissed off. And then she accidentally sends me two messages that she was like, clearly she's a seller. And she was writing somebody back and apologizing for it taking her a second to ship their fucking item.
Karma.
I know. And she put it right in my DMs. And then she realized what happened and read my last one about how it was already in her state. And she goes, oh, so sorry, ignore those. And then that's when she said, I'm telling us out of order. And then she's like, I'm going to bounce it back because it's late. And I go, you literally just accidentally DM'd me your dialogue to someone else about how you're late shipping something. So why don't you calm down? And she didn't write back at all. And it got delivered today. And I haven't heard from her at all. I'm like, you are an idiot. Like, don't come at me. And I use a P.O. box when I ship to people, and she gave me her real address. So I will send you fucking crickets in the mail, bro. Don't test me. I will send you a box of shit or one of those exploding glitter packages. Don't fucking come at me. She pissed me right off. So anyway, everybody's crazy.
It's all in the wind. Anything else about Tombstone?
I saw that a wild cat jumped in the car too.
There's a bunch of wild cats where we were staying. They are the mousers. They keep all the little critters away.
That's cute. You didn't put one in your pocket?
No, you're told to not let them in your room because they want to come in your room, and don't let them in the restaurant, and don't take them home. They have a job.
Nah, I would have took all of them.
Very fun time. There you go. Tombstone. Thanks everybody who went to Tombstone. Strange Escapes. Very fun.
Good job. Good job.
Good job, good job. So my sister called me today because she's trying to watch all the Oscar movies, and she finally watched The Substance.
How'd she feel about that?
Do you want to take a guess?
I hope she loved it.
She said it was awesome.
Yay! Love her. It is awesome.
She's on board. I was like, it does deserve an Oscar. And she was like, it does. It's so weird, but it's so funny, but it's so scary. And I don't like scary movies, but I was like hypnotized by it. Yeah, she loved it.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's a good time.
Yep.
It's nuts in there. You already think it's nuts, and then it gets more nuts. And then it ends, and you're like, I need a cigarette, and I don't even smoke.
Yep.
Shout out to your sister. Shout out to dogs. Listen, while you were gone, I did a 2-hour Patreon chat.
Oh, someone told me, like, one of the nights I was investigating, they were like, Jessica's doing a live for the past 2 hours.
I know. And listen, that's why I'm bringing this up, because one of the ideas that came up was they said that they like to shout out to dogs. And then since I was in the Patreon chat, my gear started turning, and I'm like, wait, because we haven't returned to the Patreon shout outs on here in a long time. I'm like, what if we don't do regular people's names? What if we shout out everybody's pets?
Oh, we could do that for sure.
Right? And that's what you get for like being a Patreon. We don't say your name, we just say your pet's name. But then I thought it would be side funny because some of the pets' names are going to be human names. So it'd be like, shout out to Greg, and people will think it's a person, but it's a dog.
I'm on board.
I know, I like it. I have to organize that somehow. But speaking of movies, it's not Oscar nominated. Well, it would be next year anyway. But anyway, y'all know I mentioned that movie on here before, Presence, and we brought it up last week. But it was directed by Steven Soderbergh, who has an Oscar, and written by a guy who wrote the screenplay for Stir of Echoes and Jurassic Park. And it's filmed from the perspective of a ghost. Like the camera is the fucking ghost, which sounds amazing. the movie is not good.
It's not for you.
I'm bummed out. The movie was not good. It was not a good time. It was a bummer. It was bleak. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the acting, and I didn't like how it looked.
Well, there you go.
And I never say that shit on here, and I didn't like it. It was just, I was so excited for that movie, and it was, I don't know what that was. It looked like someone's first movie, and this man has an Oscar.
Well, in better news, I'll tell you that I've gotten multiple direct messages and emails about people who think that the 1970s show Thriller is super cozy.
I bet it is. I still didn't start it yet, but I will. I do want to watch it.
And I got a cute little thank you from Diana for mentioning her in the
Oh, yeah.
podcast last time.
I saw that, and I followed her back from the podcast page. I was already following her on my regular page, but not from the podcast page. Shout out Diana again, and dogs again.
And Kevin, which is, I was
And
going to
Kevin.
because I was going to say we need to put together either a WooPod trip to meet Kevin, or at least you and I like need to go and get our pictures with Kevin.
I know everybody in the Patreon wants to meet Kevin from Jersey Mike's. He's a low-key Wupod celebrity now. I'm like, my dad will probably have him over for a barbecue, and then I'm like, fuck it, my dad will probably have all the Pates over for a barbecue. We'll just make
It
it a
would be
party.
so funny if you were just a random person working your job, and then like one day someone comes in and sees your name tag and stuff and goes like, "Did you play football square?" And you're like, "Yeah, why?" And they're like, "Do you know that like there's a group of people who are talking about you and like
Yeah.
congratulating you?"
Oh, you've been mentioned on a semi-popular podcast. I know. I still haven't told my dad. He has no idea that all of this hoopla is going on. I gotta tell him. Another cute, kind of weird, small thing happened while you were gone. I went to, of course, buy something off Facebook Marketplace because I'm a freak. It was literally an hour and a half away. I put the dog in the car and drove 3 hours round trip to pick up one thing. It's fine, but the lady was really nice. Anyway, so it was in Lansing. So I'm like, here I go.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, so I get there, I pick up the thing, and the street, I won't dox this person, but anyway, the street, I get happy for people when I think they have a really nice looking life. Like, so the street was beautiful. It was on like a river, and the house was pretty and whatever. So I picked up the thing and I texted them, and I'm like, I just wanted to let you know, I grabbed it off the porch, and I'm like, your street is so peaceful. I get happy for people when they have a nice life. And I texted that, and then I like didn't look at my phone. Oh no, I DM'd it because you DM for a marketplace anyway. So I didn't look at that shit until I got home. So anyway, so I'm driving home, and the whole way back, it had like gotten dark, and I'm like, I don't know why, like the whole fucking way home, I thought about the moon landing. And I don't know why. And I know I know I'm insane. And I was like, I should bring up the moon landing again on the podcast because it makes Tenny crazy because I don't fully believe in it. And he does. And your dad doesn't either. And I'm like, it's the only weird thing that me and your dad agree on. And I know it drives you nuts. And I know it sounds insane, but I can't help it. I just don't believe it. I'm like, once we got to the Titanic, we've been to Titanic wreckage like 100 times. Why the fuck? I just know how selfish we are and shitty we are as humans. We would have shit there. There's a lot about it I don't believe. Anyway, so the whole fucking time I'm like, yeah, I should bring it up again on the podcast and drive him nuts, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like thinking of what Katie thought of it. I'm like, I wonder if Katie believes it or not. I don't know. So then anyway, so I got home and I checked my DMs, and this is the DM I got from the lady. So glad you like it. I wanted to keep it, but my husband vetoed it. The table was from his grandparents' house out in Newport Beach, California. His grandfather was the deputy director of NASA during the Apollo 11 mission. In my opinion, his grandparents had incredible mid-century taste.
Weird.
So I thought I fucking talked to the table.
You were talking to the table.
The whole way home, it implanted in my fucking brain.
You talked to the table.
I can do psychometry. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's wild.
It's the only thing I thought of the whole fucking way home. I'm like, why is the moon landing literally embedded in my head this whole fucking way home? Then I get home and read that DM. Like, I screenshotted it. I'm like, this is crazy.
That's wild.
I know. I love it even more now, though. And I screenshot it and I sent it to my dad. I'm like, see, you don't get stories like this when you buy your furniture at Art Van. Now I have the cool table that was owned by somebody that worked on the moon landing, allegedly.
And it's got a moon ghost in it.
I know. And then I'm like, now do I have to fucking believe in the moon landing? He's like, hello.
Listen, as I lectured for years and would talk about the moon landing, and sometimes I would talk about the weird things that are about around it and surround it, and how it could be weird and how it's not and how it is. Here's the thing, like you said, like we went to the Titanic and we go all the time and people try and go down there all the time and whatever. So like we went to the moon 6 times.
Yeah.
right? So we didn't go like once and then never go
No,
back.
I know. That I
But
know. But it was
but
within a span of what, 3, 4, 5 years?
it's from 69 to 72. So just
Right.
like 3 years.
Right.
But you have to remember too, like even just in those 6 times we went to the moon, like the third time we went, we took a fucking car with us so they could drive around up there. Like there's a
Yeah.
moon buggy up there. By the 6th time, the astronauts were bringing golf clubs with them and like playing golf on the moon. Like
Yeah.
that type of shit makes me go, oh yeah, we did go to the moon. Like we're so dumb, we're not even awestruck by being on the moon. Guys are like, I got to take a golf club when I go up there. You know what I mean? Like, like,
Yeah.
like that does sound so stupid that it's probably real.
That's true. I don't know. I still don't know if I believe it, honestly, but if that lady says that the guy from the table worked on it, then I don't know.
Yeah,
But isn't that neat?
it is very neat.
I know, I was really excited to tell you.
Very fun. I think it's strange that like kids are, well, they used to, they're not anymore, but like people used to like memorize the names of presidents and stuff like
Mhm.
that. There's only 12 motherfuckers ever walked on the moon.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember we used to have to memorize at least the ones that went there the first time. You would know. You have to know.
but I mean, like, people know Neil Armstrong, people know
Yeah,
Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz
Good,
Aldrin, right?
good fucking luck on any of the other ones.
Listen, listen, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. If somebody said,
Alan Bean.
"Nope, I should know that."
No, Alan Shepard.
Nope,
Eugene Cernan.
nope,
See what I mean? Like,
nope.
what's happening?
There's a way to. I thought there was a couple other recognizable ones. It's just those two guys that we all know.
Yep. Yeah. And the thing is like, so like Eugene Cernan, like people should know him because he was the last human to ever walk on the moon. Like, I feel like that's almost as
Yeah,
important as Neil Armstrong.
that is.
Like he was the last guy to step off the moon. You know what I mean? Like, and then we never went back. That's where I think the conspiracy is.
Yeah.
I think we did go to the moon. I think we kept going to the moon. We stopped telling us that we were going to the moon.
See, now you're getting conspiracy-ish.
Yeah, because all of a sudden it went from a rocket ship to a craft that looked like an airplane that could take off and land like an airplane because the moon doesn't have a gravitational pull like Earth, so it doesn't need the giant rockets to take off. So they built the space shuttle. They would have to push it up on rockets to get it into outer space. But then if it got to the moon, it could land like a plane, unload equipment, and then it could take off from the surface of the moon like a plane and then land on Earth again.
If you're coming from that high up, don't you have to land like a rocket? You can't just land like an airplane from fucking space.
The space shuttle lands like a plane. Didn't you ever see the space shuttle land? Whether it's coming from outer space or the moon,
Listen,
doesn't make a big difference.
this is all suspect. Stupid.
I'm too tired to get into the specifics.
I know. I just wanted to tell you about my psychic moment,
I
but
know. And I'm still a little off. I'm still not sure. When I came home after 13 hours of travel and I was ready to go through, I have my get home ritual that I do. I go into the laundry
you
room.
don't have to tell us the whole thing every time.
I was ready to do that ritual and everything. And I walk up and my front door's been open since I left.
Oh yeah, like ajar, not just unlocked, ajar.
It was open. Like
Yeah.
as I was walking up to my house, I could see my living room. Like it has just been open. And so I walked in and I set my stuff down and I was like, if there's anybody in here, if you've been in here for 3 or 4 days, like this is your chance to leave. I'm not going to call the cops. And still now it's been 24 hours. I'm still not sure there's maybe not someone hiding in the closet somewhere.
It's cold as shit outside. It would be a good time for somebody to squat in your house.
For sure. And I have it in my brain too that maybe there's like a rickety raccoon in here somewhere that came in because it was warm.
That would be fine.
Just not while I'm sleeping. I don't want to wake up with a big fat hungry buddy on my chest.
I do. I mostly do because Toad is
Yes,
crazy.
that's your life every day.
It is my life every day. And then the last thing that I had to tell you about was
I'm glad it's the last thing because I'm exhausted.
I know I'm over it. I did so many things today. I don't even want to talk about it. I'll tell you after because it's boring, but just, that thing where you do all the things that you're supposed to do and you run all your errands and then you get home and you realize you fucked up and you have to go back out?
Yeah.
God, annoying. So I did that. I'll just say it. We sold WooPod shirts in the Patreon. And so I took them all to the post office along with a couple things that I sold on eBay and I dumped them all in the door thing.
Yeah.
put them in the post office, went to work, got gas, did all the things, came back here. Somebody from Marketplace came and picked something up that they bought for me, did all the things. And then I sit down on my couch to put in the tracking number for the eBay item that I sold. Oh, guess what? I didn't fucking I didn't put a label. And I put the box with no label in the fucking post office.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, why am I so stupid? So I went back to the post office with Toad, went in there, and I'm like, I threw a box in your little tourney thing and it doesn't have a label on it. And she went back there and found it. And then I posted it and then I came home. So any fucking way. Anyway,
So you're over it.
I'm over it. I know. But most of my day went really nice. Anyway, so while you were gone, I went to the post office box a different time, and we got a very mysterious black envelope with a red wax seal.
Uh-oh.
And I open it, and it's a no return address, and I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? And then I can't say the information on. I'm gonna say some of it. It says it's very official looking, and it's on cardboard, and it's really nice, and it says the Vampiric Council of Central insert state here. I'm not gonna say where it is because it's secret. Cordially invites you to the 2025 annual Vampire Party and Conference, and it says the date and it says the location. The conference will be held blank, followed by hors d'oeuvres and socializing. The vampire party will occur the night of. And then there's a secret website and a secret password. And that's it. And I was so happy for us. I was like, everything I've done in my life up to this moment to know that a vampiric council from out of state has invited us to their weird thing. I'm like, I've done everything right.
All right.
We've done everything right. And they don't, I've since talked to someone involved, and they don't have social media. They don't have anything out in the open because there's allegedly like scholars and professionals and stuff involved in this, and they don't want their picture on the internet in vampire outfits. So it's very secret, and somehow we got an invite, and it made me feel like I've done good things with my life.
Are you going to leave your house and go?
I don't know. Hey, every meme that's ever been created is those introvert memes where it's just like, I literally don't want to go, but I love being invited. That's me. But yeah, so that happened. So good job, us.
I guess. Good job, us.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it? That's all you got?
Yep. Just
Good.
ghosts and vampires and psychic moments and moon landing and dogs and
Tombstone and
tombstone.
yeah, I'm wiped out. So
I know we gotta go.
it's just a smally wally.
Okay. We love you guys.
We love you all. Thank you, everybody that hung out with me and talked to me. I would just like to stress this. Sometimes because what I do is such an extroverted job, like standing up in front of people and lecturing and like playing host and talking to so many people, I don't think a lot of people realize like just seeing an actual friendly face like relaxes my soul at these events. So like, I'm sorry if I didn't get enough time to talk to you, but like knowing that you're near me and knowing that like you're a friend of mine, like does a lot to save my mental distresses. So thank you.
I feel that way about the Patreon chat. It's so cozy and we talk every day, and and lots of people are going through stuff, and just even if they don't get that many responses or we don't know what to say, it's just nice for people to like air out like hard times that they're going through and feel like somebody's listening. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like community. I like everybody that takes time to listen to our podcast and feels like they're one of us.
It's just very nice to look over and see a smiley face, even if I'm not involved in that group. I'm like, oh, that's a friend of mine and they're having fun.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Makes me feel good.
Well,
All right, I'm all done.
good job, buddy.
Good job, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Oh my God, bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.